Okay, so we want to mint 10 NFTs on Solsea in 30 minutes. So how do I do it? So first I've got my list of attributes for every single one of my mints I'm doing right now. I'm actually going to be minting some unicorn, Genesis unicorn and NFTs. So what I do is I open up 10 tabs, all the same, just regular NFT. So let's just get started. So first I get my description right here, and I'm just going to paste that in the title with 81, right, and then I'll go to 82, etc, etc. So we'll just do that, and I might cut some of this, but this is going to be the whole process from A to Z, so you know how to do 10 in about half an hour, because normally it takes about, well geez, it almost takes 15 minutes to do just one, right? So is that 85, 84, 85, okay, this will be 86, 86, then we're doing 87 over here. Now obviously you have to have your assets all ready for this, and you have to have your attributes all ready as well. Is that right? 87, oh this is 88 over here. So the reason, and you'll see why do I start with this, the identifying numbers, because it's going to make it possible for me to go back and forth on each of the tabs and know what else is left to do. So this is number 90. So I've got 81 to 90 all ready with just the title, right? Then what I do is I upload the actual thumbnail first, or the preview I guess you call it. So I go into my files, I have the way I generated them like this. So I know this is number 81. You see down here it says 81, so I know I go 81, this one here. So now that's 81, the scale one. Now I go to the next one, number 82. I find 82 over here, then I go here, I find 83 over here. Now I make sure I keep this down the bottom so I can kind of tell, right? So I go to 83 so I can always remember which one I'm actually getting, right? So I do that like that. So now I go to 84. You probably can use, yeah, you can see it I guess. So 84 is the next one again, and this is just the process I kind of use to kind of speed things up, because it takes so long to do these, right? 86, 86, and 87, and there we go. So that's the the preview image. Obviously if you had a video as well, you would do that too, but right now I'm just doing the preview. And the reason I do all the preview, because I have them all in a separate folder. The preview's in one folder, the full generated is in a different folder, so I end up doing the just all the previews and all the tabs, right? Because otherwise you'd have to be going back and forth and everything. So this is 90, there we go. So now I have all the previews. Now I go back to the first tab and I scroll down to go and get the actual artwork. So this again is 81, but now it's going to be in the main folder, and there's my 81, right? 81. So this is the full size. Obviously I can kind of confirm they're the same as well, so I don't mess anything up. 82, the full size, 82. And I know it's a repetitive process, right? It's just like, but the thing is that keeping track of where you are, and so you don't mess up, because one of the things with NFTs is that if you mess it up, if you mess one thing up, you can't fix it. You got to basically you got to delete, which is called burning. See, I just messed this up. This is not the right one, right? Because I was talking. So if I go back here, I want to do 85, 84, not 85, whoops. I just got to go back and do 84, because this is 84. So basically if you mess up anything like this, right, say I put the wrong image or the traits or the description or anything's wrong, you have to burn it, which means deleting it, or actually the way to burn it is you actually send it to an invalid address. There's a whole process. I'm not going to show you here, but there's a whole process to do that, and then you have to basically create it again with the right information. So this is 86. And each time you mint, or each time you burn, there's a small cost. It's pennies, but there is a small cost to doing it, and so that's why you want to make sure you don't mess up, right? So we're just doing each tab, we're just going to the actual artwork, so number 88, and then after I'm done all the 10 of them, 89 after I'm done all of them. So 89, and last one is number 90. After I'm done them all, number 90, then I go to the tab number 1 again, right? Guess what? I bet you can guess what I'm going to do. Now I'm going to take the short description, which I have right here. Obviously, if you're not doing a collection where you're copying everything, all the same short description, all the same description, then you know, it might take you a bit longer, because you're going to have to kind of get the right description for each of the pieces and everything. But that's kind of how I'm doing it, because I'm doing a collection that has all the same short description, all the same description, all the same. And why do I do, you know, the description and the short description, why do I do them all one at a time? Well, because as you can see, I can just do a paste in every single tab, and it's really quick. I can go to each tab and just paste right in the same field, instead of going back and forth between my document and each tab, each field I should say. See, now I'm going to do the description. I do the description over here, I paste the description, then I go to the next tab, right? So that makes it faster, because you don't have to go back and forth between each of the different pieces of information that you need, right? So I just go to one tab to the other. Now there's probably a way to even go faster than using the mouse. I bet you, if you know the keyboard shortcuts for Chrome, you can probably go faster, but I'm just using the mouse. It probably doesn't make a huge difference, right? So that's the description right here. Okay, so next, the royalties. In this one I could do a cut and paste, but it's just putting in a number, right? So I put the same number in each one. You know me, I'm doing a 10% royalty from secondary sales. You could do 20, obviously you can do up to 50, it says on Solsea, or you can even do 0 if you want, right? No, but if you're doing an NFT, you're probably wanting to have some sort of a return from the royalty of sales. 10% is a nice small number. That's something that most people won't feel is too much. If you put more, obviously, you know, it's really up to you, right? I mean, you could make a different number for different things in your collection. If you have certain things that are more rarer, right? You have items that are more rare, you could certainly do that. External URL, again, the same thing. We paste them all here, paste all these here, paste it here, paste it here. External URL is all the same. And the thing that happens is, after you've filled in everything for every single tab, you're ready to kind of start doing the traits, which is kind of annoying to do, right, on Solsea. I don't know if they'll eventually have an automated way of doing. Whoops, let's see, I didn't do it in the right place. So that's it there. Now I got all my URL. Now the next thing is the tags. So what I do is, I already know what my tags are. I have them right here, right in this document here, right, 2D collections, whatever. So I've gotten used to typing them in, right? Just go like here, 2D, enter, collectible, enter, picture, enter, drawing, enter, image, and, whoops, img, enter, image, ima, enter, digital, and then art. There's two different arts, so I gotta kind of select them. So it's pretty quick to do that. Then I do select collection, and there you go. So now this tab is ready for the minting. I go to the next tab, I do the same thing, 2D enter, COLL enter, PIC enter, drawing, DRA enter, IMG enter, IMA enter, DIG enter, and then art and click, art and click, and then the collection. Make sure you select your collection. Obviously I did one minting where I forgot to select the collection, and I ended up having to burn it because I didn't have a collection assigned to it. I don't know if I could have attached it or not after the fact, but I couldn't do it without contacting support, unless of course they could do that, right? so let's do all these. Image, digital, art, and art again, and the collection. Now number 3, do the same thing. I know it's repetitive, and you can certainly skip ahead to see the next part, but I'm going to go through this because I kind of want to actually time myself. I actually want to time myself to see if I'm really going to do it within half an hour, which means I have to go through the whole process, right? Because I've been minting these I've been minting these over the last few days, and it's like you know, it is kind of a lot of work. Oh, by the way, the license, I don't attach one. You could probably attach a license, but I rather not have a license. That means that you can assign a license later. You can choose a license differently, right? But if there's no license, then that means there's no rights. Nobody can do anything with them other than buy them, right? Now if you did put a license and you wanted to change it later, that makes it pretty much impossible, because it's minted and it's in the blockchain, right? So you don't want to assign a license unless you're absolutely 100%, you know, 1,000% sure you're never going to change it, right? And you'll be happy with it. So that's kind of why I'm not assigning one. So we're on the number 85, I think. We're almost, right? We're getting close to the end here of these the tags. After the tags, there's the attributes, and then it's the minting, right? The minting of them. So you could mint one at a time, but the problem is that you kind of feel like you kind of have to wait for the minting to finish before you go to the next. Actually, that's kind of how I did it in the beginning, right? I just went mint one, and I went through the process of approving and doing it all, and it just took forever. It took like almost half an hour for just one, right? And I'm like, well, how can I speed that up? That's kind of ridiculous. It takes so long, right? And you know, you could use a tool like what's it called, Candy or something. There's a tool that lets you mint like thousands at the same time, and it's automated and everything. But for me, that means it wouldn't be minted on Solsea, right? It wouldn't show up as a Solsea minted NFT. So people, I know for me, when I look, I like to be able to see that the NFTs was minted on Solsea. There's like a little check mark, right, that says show me just the Solsea minted NFTs, right? And so I use that. I'm sure lots of other people do, right? Did I forget the collection here? No, I did. Okay, so last one before we start the minting. Like I said, picture, drawing, you can just type the first few letters, and then as long as there's no other, you can just press enter to select it. With art you can't, because there's multiple art ones. So you gotta actually select it. Okay, so now we're back to the first one. We want to add the trait. So now I have my traits right here. What I do is I just copy this here from my file, I paste that, I get that last part out, cut it out, put that over here, and then I have my first trait. Then I do my second trait like this, and then I paste that trait in there, and I go right here, put that there, then I go to the next one. Whoops, so I got the whole thing. Go over here, paste it here, and then I put that there like that, keep going, and then the next one over here, whoops, and paste that over here. Then we do the next trait. So after the traits are done, we'll do the minting, and you'll see how I deal with doing more of them at the same time. So hoofs is black, and then we have the extra on this one, which is a hat. So this is just my traits on my NFTs, obviously, so it's just whatever you have as NFTs, you'll have different traits and a different way to manage them. But now we have this one, it's ready. I go back, I'd see number 81, I make sure I have the royalties, make sure I have the URL, the tags are right, the collection selected, and all the attributes are proper, and then I just click on the mint, right? So then obviously what happens, you see it uploading, and then it wants you to approve it. I should have, and then you just approve it, and there you go. So now that's starting the mint process. I go to the next tab. This is number 82. I go to 82 over here, and I get the 4. So I just basically copy the traits, do the same thing for this one. So the other one is minting now. It's starting to mint right now, right? Whoops. So I'm just doing this one the same way. I'm going to put in all the traits in, and I'm just going to keep going, trait number 2, and trait number 3, and as you can see now there's an approval. I'm just going to approve this, and I keep going. Oops, approve this again, here. Oh, it looks like there's some sort of mess up. That's too bad. Sometimes there's a total mess up, and I don't know if this will eventually fix itself here, but this is not a typical one, right? Prove. Oh my god, this is annoying that we're doing this in the recording, right? Okay, the other thing, you'll see that these are there as well. Guys, so I'm just going to do this one. Maybe we'll let that go for a second and see if maybe it'll recover better if I just let it pause it here. But we're just going to keep going here with the other traits, and hopefully this will work the way it's supposed to, right? Because last time I minted the last 10, that took me about 30 minutes, so I wanted to kind of do this here. Extra is none. This one has, and I'm adding the extra. In my case, I have an extra attribute, and when it's not there, I just set it to none. So this one is ready, number 82. I'm just going to click on the mint on this one. 82 is uploading, and then we just sign that, and I'm just going to go back to the other one because it's still there and approve it. Hopefully that'll I don't know if I should cancel it or something. I don't know what, maybe I don't have enough funds in my wallet or something. Could it be that my wallet's depleted? This is a wallet I keep specifically for this NFT, so I'm just wondering, maybe my wallet is too low. Let me go see in a different window here. Actually, let's do this over here, back here. I'm gonna go open a new window, and let's just check my wallet out. So balance might be super low or something. That might be the problem. Let's load up my wallet here, so you'll actually see the balance on my wallet, but I don't care because it's a very low balance wallet with all my NFTs in it. Or maybe there's a problem with the network right now. So there's a balance of point, yeah, that's not enough. So I'm gonna have to go transfer some funds from a different wallet to this one. So let me just go here and let me just get that fixed while this is going to add to my time. But you know, if I would have thought of it before I went, I got more than one wallet with different funds in them, right? And let me just get that done. Actually, I'm going to pause the video because this doesn't really count. All right, so we got the funds transferred, so let's keep going. So now this one failed. We saw an error show up, so we'll just mint it again, and we'll go back to the first one. It's probably got an error there too. I'm going to approve this. Let's go back to this one, and he's probably got it here. Let's approve it again. Okay, so now, oh, there you go, one of the mint transactions failed. Let's try it again. Okay, so hopefully that'll work. Okay, so now we do number 83. So I go back to 83 over here, which is this one, and I just keep going. Oops, I'm missing a letter here. There we go. 83. So we keep going. So that's all I do. That's just really that simple. It's just basically using multiple tabs, obviously making sure you have enough funds in your wallet to do the transactions, and that's it pretty much. Every time one of those approval things pops up, you just go ahead and approve it, and it just keeps going. Main is rainbow. Next one is the eyes that are brown on this one. And yeah, it's I do want to create an automation process for this though, because even this to me is like extra super annoying work. Repetition for me is one of the worst the worst things I don't like doing. I don't like repeating something, especially because I'm a programmer. I can actually program this stuff so that it's automated, and I will do that eventually, but for now I kind of want to show you how to do it really. The fastest you can possibly mint is as fast as you can go through the process, right? And then I always verify 83 and make sure this is all good, and then I mint it, and then it's just gonna mint. that's it. We're just minting away. So the other thing is I go back to the other tabs as I go to make sure they're done. As you can see right now, the wallet is popping up for approval, so I'll just let it. I think there's more than one in here. There's 3 of them already, right? So I'm going to approve this one, approve this one, approve this one. If I go back here, you can see these are still minting. Okay, so now we got 3 of them in the process of minting. So number 84, now 84 over here, and we're gonna keep going. Now we're doing number 84, so the 4th one. I'm just adding the traits, or attributes, whatever you want to call them. They call them traits on the site, right? And then I just why is my copy or select foo is not great right now? And then we go to the next attribute, the next trait over here. Approve that. Now obviously, you know, if you're worried about whether these are valid or not, and certainly something you can be a little bit cautious of, but at the same time right now I'm just on Solsea. I know that these are coming from my Solsea minting process, so I mean there's no real chance of them being you know, bad or fake or whatever, unless Solsea becomes all of a sudden like that, right? Which I can't imagine. That would be pretty awful, but you know, so that's why I kind of don't worry about them, right? So all right, so now we have the last one for this one. We got the right unicorn, the right royalty, the right titles, number 84. I'm going to mint this. So just click the mint and it uploads, and then I just approve the transaction, right? So now I can go back to the other tabs to see if there's any errors. Oh, see, this one failed, so then I need to mint it again. And I don't know, I mean, I guess the SOL blockchain is not always great, because these transactions, but that's actually normal, right? The way the blockchain works is that anytime there's a transaction that needs to be added to the blockchain, it gets added to a single server on the whole network. There could be thousands or millions of servers on this. See, this one's minted now. There could be millions or hundreds of thousands of nodes that run the blockchain, right? So every single, this is number 85, so let's do, we're starting 85 now. So on the blockchain, whenever you do something, what happens is you get the transaction added to one node. Okay, so then the way it works is that node works to solve the mathematical formula and all that to be allowed to add it to a block on the blockchain. And if that node, and that node will have all the transactions that are in existence from other nodes added. There's a algorithm that does that, but basically what happens is, so what happens is, as all these nodes, all the different nodes, there's a bunch of nodes, right, that are trying to do the same thing. They're trying to compete for the one that wins, because that's how they get that mining fees, or they get extra coins, if you will, of the particular cryptocurrency they are trading. And anyway, so what happens is all of them are fighting to be the winners of the next block on the blockchain. If this transaction that I'm sending, whenever I click on the mint thing, or whenever I click on the approve, if that transaction is not in the block that gets approved, then it just doesn't show up in the blockchain. So that's why you don't get paid. You don't have to worry about paying. That's why it says if it's not approved and you don't pay for it, right? That's because it never gets added to the blockchain. And because it never gets added to the blockchain, you can just retry it. And it would be nice if there was a way to guarantee that a transaction gets added, but unfortunately there isn't. And that's the whole point of the blockchain, I guess, is that every single node has the possibility of being the winner of the transaction that you're sending. So that's why these errors happen, and that's why it's okay to just keep retrying until it works. And that's yeah, just a little bit of a blockchain intro here, a little bit of a blockchain education or what's the word, what do you call it, trivia, right? A little bit of blockchain trivia. So that's kind of why this is happening. Okay, so now we have the first one is done, second one, this one failed again. Let's go back here. Kind of have to do them all like this, and then we kind of have to approve this one. So it looks like it'll take me a little bit longer than half an hour, because I guess either because I'm talking, you know, and it's taking longer for me to to get through this, but as you can see, it certainly does help. It certainly does take less time like this, right? And let's go to, now we're on number 86. Let's do 86. So let's see, we'll see how long it takes to do the whole thing anyways, with this process that I'm talking and doing it all, like recording it and all that. So we'll see how it goes, right? We got some people coming around, maybe there's, so we're on that number 86 here, and let's just keep going, get it done. You saw something pop up, didn't you? So I'm going to go and approve that one too. Let's go over here, just approve it. There we go. The horn, and there we go. Do this, and then the hoofs are pink on this one, and then the extra is brown. There was another one that popped up, wasn't there? Let's go approve it. Okay, so this is all good. This is good. The land, the royalties, everything's good. All right, so this is number 86. So let's just mint it, and then let's wait for it to complete and approve it. So we only have 4 left, so we're doing pretty good. All right, so now let's go back here to number 87 right here. I should probably go check if any of them failed, because that means I have to restart them, right? Let's go back over here. This one is done, this one is done, this one failed. Let's try this again. So we got to resubmit it, and like I said, if the transaction fails, it just means it never showed up on the blockchain, which means it just never got approved by any nodes. All right, so now we're on this one. Let's keep going. Oops, I guess we'll approve that. There we go. Oops. The type is blue for this one, and the main is white. All right, so just so you, I don't know if you noticed, but the way I'm doing this right here is I'm just selecting the attribute with the value. I'm copying it with Control C on my keyboard, I'm pasting it here with Control V. I double click on the word blue, I Control X to cut, I erase the equal sign, and then I paste it here with Control V. That's kind of what I'm doing, in case you didn't know, or you're wondering, you know, how I'm doing this, because, you know, most times you might want to do a right click with your mouse, and like, see, if I go like this, I can do that with my mouse too, right click on here, copy it, go over here, right click here and paste it, double click here, do a cut like this, erase the equal sign, and do a paste right here, right? Whoops, do a paste right here. So I mean, I find that using the keyboard is faster, right? than to use the mouse, but I mean, you know, whatever, if you're used to the mouse, it might actually work faster for you. So this is the number over here, number 87. The other thing I do is I do know that the pictures look the same, but you know, what if I made a mistake? So whenever I click the mint, I watch so that the 2 images have the same number, so I know, because I put numbers on all the images, so that way when I upload them, I can see that they're actually the right ones, right? Now let's go back. Over here is going to be 88, which is this one. Ooh, this is a gold. The gold are not very common in my collection. The gold is, I think I might only have 4. Do I think I only have 4 gold. So that's yeah, the main is rainbow. Go, we're almost to the end. This is like, there's only 2 left, is there? The eyes are green on this one. The horn is gold as well. Oh, the gold horn and the gold type. Whoa, that might make it a little bit rarer to get, right? And the hoofs are black, which is pretty common. Well, actually, I don't know. The extra is none on this one. Okay, so we have a transaction to approve right here. Approve that. Is there no that's it. Okay, so this is number 88. Mint it. C88 small and then the 88 full size. Almost done. Let's go see what the other ones look like. This one is still minting. This one failed, so let's do it again. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. It's we're already at 31 minutes, so we're past our 30 minutes, which I was hoping to get to, but this one failed as well. Do it again. So I mean, obviously the time it takes depends on how many failures you get and how many transactions you need to approve, and you know, all that stuff, right? So if there's a lot of failures, then you're going to end up, it'll take a bit longer, right? Right now we're getting a bunch of these wallets showing up. There's a bunch of them, all need to be approved, so they take some computer resources, right, to just, and look at that, another one. I'm just trying to get these approved. There you go. Approve this one and approve this one, and then these ones need to load. I'm not pretty sure. I guess it probably takes a little bit of computer resources to just load all this stuff up. Approve this one. I could wait to make sure I see what's there and all that, but just approve this one, approve this one. Okay, so now if I go back to here, I got this one's done, this one's done, this one's minting, this one's done, this one's minting, this one's minting, minting. Okay, so the last 2. So number 89 right over here, takes over here is going to be this guy. Type is going to be white. And we had that pop up, we got to go approve it. The main is white. Let's approve this one before we do anything. There we go. The eyes are blue. There we go. The horn is navy. Let's get that out of there, put that here, and the hoofs are white for this one. All right, there we go. Do that like this, and then the extra is none. There you go, extra on this one. All right, so now I've got this one, that's all there, the collection's there, the external, the royalties, everything's there, and this is number 89. So let's go mint. Mint 89. There we go. Let's go to number 90 now, the last one. 90, the last one of the 10 that we're doing, right? This got a background of palm trees. And we have another one that popped up. Let's approve it. Approve it. Did I have more than one to approve? The type is white. This is it. This is the last one of the 10. what happened here? I ended up copying this number 90, the type is white there. And I can hear my computer's fan going like crazy because the CPU is pegged, is what they call it, right? Because the computer is using up all its resources. That's because of all the tabs I have open, and because the wallets are going and the minting is going and everything else that takes up some extra CPU, some extra computer power, right? The horn is pink, and then there's another approval I need to go here, and the hoofs are pink. There we go. And then the extra is none. There you go. This is the last one, number 90 out of our 10s, or number 10 I guess out of our 10s. I'm going to make sure I have the unicorns, the royalties, everything's all set right. Then I mint it just like all the other ones. My apologies for my throat. I always have something that seems like in my throat. All right, so now let's go check the rest. This one is, oh, this one failed. Okay, let's do it again. And the cool thing is, like, because you have all these tabs, right, you don't have to worry about re-entering anything because you've moved on to the next one or whatever, right? This one is minted, this one is minted, this one is minted. Whoa, look at that, we're doing good, we're doing good. And there's this one failed. So we have number 1, number 2, 3 is still minting, 4 is done, 5 is done, 6 is done. Oops. So whenever this happens, it's because I went and clicked on that button too fast. So you just go back right here and then just click on it again, and now it's going to be there. It can take more than one try, but it's there, it is there, it's minted, it exists. This same thing with this one, right? If I go back and I click the see your mint again, now it's there. There are the last two. I'm going to wait for the last two to finish. Now it's uploading to Arweave. I guess it failed to upload to Arweave, or the transaction failed to get approved. So as far as I understand, there's two different minting costs to Solsea. The first one is the cost to upload your artwork to Arweave, and that's basically a place where your art is going to be stored forever, and they charge a small, very small amount to do that, to allow you to, so the bigger your files are, the more it'll cost, right? I don't know if you noticed when we were going in here and we were minting them, there was an indication of how much the cost would be for the image as I upload them, right? If I go back to, let's just go to one of these and just do another let's just do another one, duplicate this. If I go here, right, and I go to create a new NFT, whenever my wallet is connected, so it's probably just, it's going to take a minute here to be done. So I'm just approving this, and my wallet is connected. Why is it doing this? There you go. Whoops, connect, go ahead. This is still minting. This one failed again. Let's do this again. Let me see, we're almost done. Approve this, please sign transaction. I approve it. So like I said, this process here, whenever I click this approve button on the sign, it says please sign transaction, right? That's because on your computer with your wallet, you're signing the transaction. You're basically encrypting the data to be accessible only by your key, right, your wallet key. And that's why they talk about signing the transaction like this. And so yeah, so this one is minting. This is the second thing that happens after the transaction is successfully entered for the upload, which I think, by the way, if you get lots of failures for the minting, no, actually I was going to say something. No, this is the second transaction, so that means that the upload has succeeded and now you're just trying to mint it. So the minting process is actually putting it in the blockchain, putting your NFT in the blockchain. That's the minting process. That's the second cost, right? As long as that's not, once the Arweave upload is completed, which, you know, like this has failed multiple times, right? So every single time you basically re-upload them, sign it and re-approve the transaction to actually pay for the signing, right? So that makes it take a bit longer whenever this is failing like this. So that's why we're past our 30 minutes. So this one here was just let me just see if I just reload it. It is connected. My wallet is connected, so I'm not sure why it's maybe it's somehow okay. So what I was saying is here is if I click on this to upload a preview image, right, let's go to my scaled ones. We didn't see that. If I just do this like 43 right here, you see it'll tell you right here, right over here, storage cost. Well, let's approve this. You see how it says 0.000234 SOL, right? So 0.000234 SOL, that's like pennies. If I look up how many USD is 0.000234 SOL, right, it'll tell me this is 0.00063. It's like, you know what, it's like, you know, not even it's a thousandth of a cent, right? And if I go back to the bigger image, if I upload my bigger artwork, right, which is my fully generated, which are these are, does it say if I mouse over? Yeah, it does. So these are 1500 by 1500. So if I do the same image, which is 43 I think, it doesn't really matter, I'm not going to mint it, but this one here says 0.0973, right? So that's bigger a little bit. But if I go back here and there, that'll give me 0.0026. So it's like 26 thousandths of a penny just to do. So it's really nothing, right? But that's kind of how it works. So this is minted. I'll close these ones, I don't need these tabs. This one is still failed, so we're almost there. I think is there only 2 left? This one's minted, yay. So now we only have 1 left, I think. Let me just approve this. If I go back here, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is minting, number 10 is done. So there's just only 1 left, and then we'll be able to say how long it took to do 10, which isn't 30 minutes unfortunately. We're at 42 minutes right now, but hopefully it won't take too much longer. We're almost there. Let's hope this Arweave succeeds at least, so that then it goes to the minting. The upload still hasn't worked yet on this one, right? And but I wish I would have made it in the 30 minutes, because I did do multiple minting, right, multiple times, 10 mints at the same time, and it did happen a few times where it was pretty close to 30 minutes. I think one time it was pretty close to 30 minutes, but it looks like it does take a bit longer. But I still did 10 in, you know, oh, that's failed again. Oh. That failed again. Do it again. Well, hopefully we'll get there and we'll be able to say it's done, it's finished. So in the meantime, while this is happening, I actually do this too. I copy the URL for my mint and I put it inside of a document I have here. So this is number 81. I go back here to number 82 and number 82. So I have the URLs for everything if I ever need. I don't know, there might be another way to find them, but I guess there is. You can go to your collection or the minted NFTs, and I'll show you that in a second after this is done. So maybe the minting will complete as well. This is number 84, number 84. Okay, and then we have number 85, and this is just a Google Doc, right? Number 86, number 87, number 88 is this one, number 89 is still minting, and we have number 90 that's done, number 90 that is done. So 89 is the one that's still, it's minting. At least the Arweave upload finished now, so now it's just the minting part, the second transaction that has to be put in the blockchain. So it's coming. Hopefully it's almost done. Hopefully this is it. Come on, finish my minting process, please. Please finish my minting process. And then the other thing I do is, this is a temporary file that I have with all mine, so then when I'm done I just delete all these so that I know that the next one to do is 91, right? Obviously right now 89 is not finished, so I'm going to wait. I'm not going to delete it. See, the minting is the minting that failed, right? So it's doing the minting again. And this is the thing, right? The Arweave, the first transaction doesn't behave the same way, right? Because the first transaction is, you don't want to do that more than once, because you'll end up paying every single time, even though it's pennies, right? Like thousandths of a penny to do it. It's still there's still a gas fee, which is another couple thousandths of a penny or something, right, to do the transactions. So you want to do them only once. So the first one is the Arweave upload and the approval of the cost to host your file, right? Once that's that one, if it fails, you get this big red blob up here, which you've seen in the video, right? This big red thing basically it just tells you that it took more than 60 seconds and didn't find it in the blockchain, which means it didn't go through. They obviously say, well, we're not sure, you got to go check the blockchain and whatever. But whenever it's minting, once that transaction goes through and is approved, the next step is the minting. And the minting, why they don't want to do that, to have you click the mint again, because now you have to pay the Arweave upload a second time, right? So this one, they just say this, they say one of the transactions failed, we'll try to repeat it, right? So you just go and approve again to do it again. It's the same thing as clicking the mint button again for the Arweave part, because that's the first part, but the Arweave is done, so you don't want to do it over again. So if I was to cancel this right now, instead of approving, if I was to click the cancel button, what would happen is this would show up as canceled by the user, and you would have paid to upload your artwork. There would be, the files would be online I don't know where they are, right? They're in some sort of storage area, and you would have to remint again, and you would upload again, and you would end up having 2 copies of your files online, right? That's kind of the process. And you wouldn't be able to burn it either, because they would be in an inaccessible area. There might be a way to do it, but it wouldn't be an NFT yet, because it's you know, just a part of the upload that finished, right? So we're at work 47 minutes. Hopefully this will finish and this will succeed, so we'll be able to say that we did 10 in X amount of time. But yeah, so these are the ones that are minted, in case you're wondering. This one has a little hat on it. That's a unique trait of my collection. There's only I think there's only 3 of them that have the hat. Here, let me show you. I have while we're waiting for that, let's just go and look at this. I have a different builds I did. That's what this is. But if I go to my generated one here, I can actually show you by the type. Show in Google Chrome. So these are all the mints, all the NFTs. There's examples here. So basically the way I did it is the white, there's 24 whites, there's 24 pinks, there's 24 beige, 10 silvers, 10 blues, and 10 black, and there's only 5 rainbow, there's only 4 gold, right? Then the other traits, right, the background, there's 22 with the rainbow background, 22 with the palm trees, 17 with the river, 17 with the city, 11 with the ocean, 10 with the forest, 6 with the sunset, and 6 with the highway. And then the color of the horn, right, the horn, oops, let's go prove that. The color of the horn, and then there's different ones, again, the percentage, right? So you've got to make sure that whenever you're creating NFTs, that you have some traits that are not very common, like this one here, gold. See the gold horn, there's only 5 of them that have a gold horn, and there's only 5 of them that have a gold type, right? There's only 4 of them that have a gold type. So that means that the one with the horn that's gold, and the type that's gold is much rarer than anything else, right? Then there's other traits. I have these the eyes as well, right? So for example, the red eyes, there's only 8 red eyes, and there's only 6 with the laser, right? And then there's these are the hoofs. But let's go to the last part, these extras. Basically there's only 4 with a hat, and then there's 3 with rollerblades, there's 3 with glasses, they wear glasses, see, and there's 2 with open brains, and there's only 1 that's pooping. So this one here is the most rarest one, and the way that I'm going to be releasing them is I'm going to be pricing these based on the rarity. So these ones that are here, right, they're going to be priced higher than the rest, and they're also going to go for higher on the resale market, right? Like, see, this one, it's got a hat, and it's also got a red hoofs, which is one of the rarer traits, right? Things like that. This one has laser eyes, and it's got rollers, so that's even more rare, right? Things like that. So that's kind of how you do it. So let's see if it's getting, hopefully this will finish. Just thought I'd show you the collection. See, like I said, with the hat here, this one has none of the extras, and you can see right here, extra none, right? It all shows you right here, right, as well. On Solsea you can see all the rollers. This one has rollers, right? This one here has red hoofs. This one has green eyes or pink hoofs, right? There's not. This one here has you can see the different colors here. So, you know, the other thing I'm probably going to talk about, oh, there you go, that's done finally. The last one, number 89, is done. So we can say that it took 51 minutes actually to mint 10, not 30. Sorry, it didn't take 30, but still it can take 30 minutes if it's done in a way that allows you, if you don't have as many failures that we had right now, right? All right, so that's kind of the end of this, and hopefully you enjoyed, and we'll see you in a other video probably.